back to Level 2 English, Day 6. Please open up your book to page 44. Let's get started. Today is a reading comprehension. Okay, fill in the parentheses. Okay, we will read two paragraphs here, and I'll leave the space blank, and you fill in the proper word for that, okay? So let's get started. This is Simon's lessons. Okay, when Simon was a little boy, he started taking violin lessons. His teacher said that he should practice every day, but he didn't. Simon's parents told him that if he didn't practice harder, he would have to stop taking lessons. They said that the lessons were too expensive to continue if he was going to be and not practice. Okay? After a few months, Simon quit learning the violin. Okay, so let's find out what's in the parentheses. Okay? So, is it, all right, number 1. Okay? They said that lessons were too expensive to continue if he was going to be, number 1, happy and not practice. So is number 1, happy, the correct answer? Okay. Let's try it number 2. Okay, happy, ureshi. They said that the lessons were too expensive to continue if he was going to be, number 2, lazy and not practice. Is it number 3, dirty? Okay, they said that the lessons were too expensive to continue if he was going to be dirty and not practice. Or is it number 4? They said the lessons were too expensive to continue if he was going to be easy and not practice. Okay, so happy means ureshi. Ne? So they told him they were going to stop paying for his lessons because they're too expensive. Takasugi. Ne? If he was going to be happy, ureshi だったら高すぎて払えないよ。それとも lazy 怠けるなら 怠ける。Okay? 3, dirty. 汚れるならやめなさい。バイオリンで汚れるかな。easy. 簡単すぎるならやめなさい。So the correct answer is number 2. Lazy. ね。怠けるなら。ね。そして練習しない。Not practice. ね。So the correct answer is 2. Lazy. Now let's look at the next paragraph. Okay. After a few months, Simon quit learning the violin. Okay, the next paragraph. A few years later, Simon went to a concert by a famous violinist. He was impressed by the beautiful sound of the music. After that, Simon became interested in playing the violin again. He decided to go back to his old teacher. Now, Simon takes lessons every week. He takes lessons every week. And he never a day of practice. He hopes one day to be able to play like the famous violinist he heard. Okay, so for number 35 here, is it 1, misses? Okay, now Simon takes lessons every week and he never misses a day of practice? Or is it number 2? Okay, now Simon takes lessons every week, and he never touches a day of practice. All right, or is it 3? Now Simon takes lessons every week and he never catches a day of practice. Or is it 4, expects? Okay, so 1 means miss. ね、ミスするですよね。ミスするというか、一回もね、欠席したことない。miss. To miss a day. 欠席、一日を欠席するとか、be absent from のもう使うんですね。So he never missed a day. So the correct answer is number 1. 2, touch, 触る。You can't touch a day. Number 3, catch. You can't catch a day either. And expect. 日に鍛える。それもちょっと違うね。Alright, so the correct answer is number 1. Misses. Okay, now let's look at page 46. Okay, let's read the two paragraphs about country life. Okay? Alice grew up in Baltimore, one of the largest cities on the American East Coast. Okay, so grew up. Put an underline under it. Grew up. Grew up means 育った。そこで育ったところ。生まれたってまた違うかもしれないね。For instance, I was born in Los Angeles, but I was raised. I grew up. Okay, raised is another word for grew up. Okay, raised, grew up, 同じ意味ね。I grew up in Washington State. Okay? So that's an example. そこで育った。2歳の時に行ったんだけど、そこで育った。ね。grew up. So you grew up in your town. Okay? So Alice grew up in Baltimore, one of the largest cities on the American East Coast. Okay? 東海岸ね。Baltimore was exciting in many ways. Baltimore is in Maryland. Okay? But it was also very crowded. Crowded. 人がいっぱいでコミコミしてるね。混雑してる。Crowded means 混雑してる。Okay? So when there's many, many people, you say crowded. When it's many, many cars, you say traffic jam. You don't say the road, the cars were crowded. You don't say that. You say there was a traffic jam. 渋滞は traffic jam. 人は crowded. Okay? And the people were not so friendly. Not so, あんまり friendly じゃないってことですね。愛想よくないね。Alice had always dreamed of living out in the country because of those, is it number 1, losses, 2, problems, 3, chances, or 4, advantages. Okay, so number 1, losses. 損。ね、損じゃないね。その損があるから、またそれちょっと違う。損はお金のこと言ってるよね。losses。ね、お金がロスしちゃった。そういう意味で言ってるわけじゃないね。2, problems。問題点。3, chances。機会ってそれを選びたいんだけど、上のことを言ってる。機会ってまだほら、カントリー田舎のことがこれがあってこれがあってこれがあってだから言ったって言ったわけじゃないよね。まずネガティブの方から言ったね。マイナス面から言ったよね。ボルトモアは混雑してて人あんまりね、フレンドリーじゃない。それ問題点にしたんですよね。だから答えは、2 problems。chances 機会。もしその後にね、モンタナの方がこれがあってこれがあってこれがあってだからなんかそこを行くのに夢見た言ったら chances って言えるかもしれないけどね。Alright, advantages. Okay, advantages はなんていうの有利って意味ですね。そこにいて有利。確かにそうなんだけど、でもまずそれをまだ言ってないので、バルティモアのことに対しての問題点を言ってるね。Alright, so Alice had, let's read it the proper way. Alice had always dreamed of living out in the country, okay, because of those problems, all right? So when Alice got a chance to work for a company in Montana, she took it, ね。そういう会社にね、働く機会、チャンスがあったら、彼女はそれを取った、そのチャンス。で、言ったよね。The town Alice moved to had a population of only 10,000, okay? 10,000, 1万人, okay? She quickly came to know nearly all of her neighbors, 隣人ね。近所の人だし、隣人。She came to know nearly, ほとんどみんな知るようになってね。Who were friendly, they were friendly, 今度 friendly ね。And helpful, よく助けてくれる人たちですね。愛想よくてよく助け合う人たちですよね。Helpful, helpful. So being helpful is you 親切って意味ですね。Alice knew that living in the countryside was not always convenient, 便利。Not always convenient. 田舎に暮らすのは必ずしも便利っていうわけじゃないね。There were only a few, 何箇所しかないって意味ですね。Restaurants, one theater, and no city attractions. ね、シティにあるアトラクションがね、ないの。ね、遊園地とかそういうのはないね。Like museums, ね、博物館とか、ね、美術館みたいなものがない。田舎にね。Everyone also knows everybody else. 皆さんはみんなのことよく知ってます。これちょっと前にしてね。It means it is usually 大体ね、こういう意味は大体ね、usually impossible impossible. 不可能じゃない。不可能であるね。To do anything. Okay? It means that it is usually impossible to do anything. So it is one, carefully. Okay? 慎重にやる。は無理。やるのは無理。みんなのこと知ってるから慎重にやるのは無理。それとも carefully。それとも naturally。自然にできるのは無理。不可能。Or does it mean honestly? 正直にやるのは無理。みんなのこと知ってるから。それとも does it mean privately? Privately means 密かに。ね。何でも知らなくて済むようにできるのは不可能。So the correct answer is number 4, privately. Okay? Now let's look at page 48. All right, we only have 4 minutes to do this. Immigration, 移住. People who go to work or live in another country for a long time are known as immigrants. 移民, okay? They go to work or live in a country for a long time. So Sarah-sensei is kind of an immigrant. I haven't changed my nationality. I don't plan to, though. I'm still American, okay? They're known as immigrants. Experts say that immigrants bring many benefits, okay? Benefits, okay? Benefits はいいことを持ってくるというね. Okay? So, to host countries. Indeed, the American economy ね、アメリカのね、お金っていうか、経済ね、economy は経済 would not be as strong without its immigrant workers. イミグラントの移民がいなかったら、アメリカの経済は今みたいに強くなかったでしょう。Even so, immigrants commonly cause, number 1, management among host country citizens. Is it 2, anxiety? 3, flight or 4, condition among host country citizens. Management は管理するってことにだから違う。anxiety 心配不安ね住んでるホストの人たちにとっては不安をもたらすねですから the answer is number 2 okay anxiety some of them fear immigrants ねfear は恐怖って意味なんだけど fear は心配っても意味もあるんですね anxiety 同じ心配しちゃう okay so some of them ホストの人たちはねホストカントリーの人たちが心配するのは、okay, fear. Immigrants will take their jobs. ね、移民がいると仕事ができなくなる。みんなに取られちゃう。移民に取られちゃう。ね。While others worry their national culture may change. 国のね、文化が変わるかもしれないから心配。Okay? Americans have long been concerned about immigrants from countries in Central America like Guatemala or Honduras. Okay? It is true that large numbers of Central Americans go to other countries to find work each year. However, not all of these people head towards the United States. For example, an increasing number of Central Americans immigrate to Mexico. Mexico is not as wealthy. Wealthy はお金持ちって意味ですね。Not as wealthy. アメリカほどお金持ちではない。But it is still much richer than such Central American nations. でも、中米よりまあ、裕福ね。wealthy は裕福って意味ですね。Many Central American immigrants stay in Mexico. Stay in Mexico. ね。メキシコにとどって、そのまま移住しちゃうんだって。アメリカ行かないで。Okay? Instead of, ね。of continuing on to the United States for several reasons. 理由があるね。アメリカ行かないで、途中のメキシコに移住するわけがいっぱいありますね。Okay? Mexico's culture is similar to Central Americans and the language Spanish is the same. Central Americans also have to travel a short distance to Mexico but have to take a much longer route to the United States. Immigration to Mexico is therefore easier than going all the way to the United States. Negative feelings about Central Americans are slowly increasing in Mexico, though. Some Mexicans complain that Central Americans are taking away Mexican jobs, even though it is clear that Central Americans are mainly doing work that Mexicans themselves can't or won't do. Experts say the long-term solution to the immigration issue is to increase job opportunities and development within Central American nations. That way, fewer Central Americans will have to leave home